Welcome to our program on the history of mohair and wool in South Africa. You are reminded that this program is offered by Siyawela-Ready to Succeed with the support of the Eastern Cape Upliftment, Empowerment and Sustainability Project, a partnership between Ethical Trade Norway, the National Wool Growers Association of South Africa and Fulirex, with funding from the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation. In video 1, we explained that you will learn about the history of mohair and wool in South Africa. After completing this section, you will be able to describe how mohair production started in South Africa, describe how wool production started in South Africa, and list the names of some of the countries that buy mohair and wool from South Africa. Let's begin by looking at how we came to produce mohair in South Africa. Historians say that Angora goats are a result of genetic mutation to the hair structure of a herd of goats brought to Turkey from Turkmenistan, Central Asia. This mutation meant that the hair of the goats was bright, shiny soft, silky and had wonderful insulating qualities, making it ideal fiber for cold weather clothes. The name given to these goats, Angora, comes from the name of the capital city of Turkey, Ankara. The wool from the Angora goat is called mohair. The word mohair stems from an Arabic word, mukaya, which means goat's hair fabric. Mohair is one of the world's oldest textile fibers. At first, mohair was only produced in Turkey. The Turkish mohair industry was very powerful, and the leaders wanted to maintain their monopoly of this fiber and so did not allow any Angora goats to leave the country. In 1838, the Sultan of Turkey, Mahmud II, sent 12 rams and 1 female Angora goat to Port Elizabeth. He wanted to be sure that the goats would not reproduce, so he had the rams neutered. But the Sultan did not realize that the female goat was pregnant. The ewe gave birth to a ram while on the ship to Port Elizabeth. This ewe and her kid formed the basis of the Angora goat and mohair industry in South Africa today. The story about how merino sheep came to our country is also very interesting. For many hundreds of years, merino sheep were only found in Spain. And before the 1700s, the export of merinos from Spain was a crime punishable by death. But then the Spanish king gave some merino sheep to the Dutch government as a present. And in 1789, the Dutch government sent some of these sheep to the Cape Colony to see if they would survive there. The Dutch government had forgotten that a condition of the gift of the fine wool merino sheep was that they were not to be sent out of Europe. So, in 1791, the Dutch government instructed that the sheep be returned. Colonel Gordon, the military commander of the Cape, returned the 6 sheep sent to him, but kept the offspring. These sheep became the basis of the merino sheep industry in South Africa today. Now that we know how production of mohair and wool started in South Africa, let's look at the contribution this industry makes to our economy. South Africa is the world's biggest producer of mohair. Mohair is produced in the provinces of Eastern and Western Cape and creates work opportunities on farms as well as in factories. Despite being the world's bigger producer of mohair, South Africa is also a big importer. So much of this trade passes through Port Elizabeth that the city has been called the mohair capital of the world. Almost all of the imported mohair, much of which comes from Lesotho, the second biggest producer globally, comes as greasy, unprocessed mohair. Some is exported like this immediately after being sold by auction in Port Elizabeth, but most is at least semi-processed, which means they are washed and combed into tops before being exported. The major export market for South African mohair is Europe and the United Kingdom, which accounts for approximately 44% of the exported mohair purchases. Recently, China has become the largest single country destination for South African mohair. When we look at the wool industry, we find that the Eastern Cape is the biggest producer of wool in South Africa, followed by the Free State and the Western Cape. Like mohair, most of South Africa's merino wool is sold to China via auction in Port Elizabeth. the largest part of the South African wool clip is marketed overseas through various wool buying organizations. The South African Wool and Mohair Buyers Association, or SAWAMBA, was established to represent the wool buying industry in South Africa. Most of the companies belonging to the association have significant shareholding in local early-stage scouring and combing facilities or are associated with international wool trading houses. About 60 to 70% of South Africa's annual wool production is semi-processed in South Africa before it is exported, while the balance is exported as greasy wool. Other than China, the main markets for South African wool in recent years have been the Czech Republic, Italy, India, Bulgaria, Germany, the US and Malaysia. In this section, we looked at how mohair production started in South Africa, how wool production started in South Africa, the contribution mohair and wool make to South Africa's economy, and the countries that buy mohair and wool from South Africa today. You now need to complete tasks 1 and 2 in your workbooks. You will find the answers to the questions by reading through section A in your participant handbook. After completing tasks 1 and 2, you may continue to section B, which is all about the raw materials used in the manufacturing process.